Let's talk about something fun, shall we?
Yeah.
As our final point of discussion for tonight's programme. FIFA ratings, do they matter? For some reason, every year, whenever either PES or FIFA get released, footballers just jump on Twitter and go, I see you've dropped my pace rating from 76 to 72. Why? And a bunch of computer analysts in Vancouver, British Columbia are just going, we don't even watch Premier League football. We're just giving stats, man. As they build the latest EA Sports FIFA game. Or maybe it's a bunch of computer designers in Japan at Konami who are making Pro Evolution Soccer. PES, according to recent reviews, is apparently better than FIFA. I've not played PES since like PES 5 when it was on PlayStation 2. I've just ordered last season's PES game because I played this year's FIFA game, FIFA 20, and was frustrated by it. I just felt it was really arcadey. But some people play that. Apparently, PES is ultra realistic. How that is,
Well,
presumably the ball comes out the
at,
screen. The ball comes out of the screen and you just doink it on your head and score the goal yourself.
Well,
First of all,
I've just had a little look, and
have you?
and it's saying here, is FIFA 20 or PES 20 better?
It
So it
depends
says
what
for
you want.
those looking for faster and more casual fun, FIFA 20 is a better choice, as it's easy and quick to learn the controls. Whereas PES 2020, on the other hand, is a more technical and deeper game with greater complexity in creating moves.
Probably that's
So
probably why I
I
win on
guess it's
FIFA a lot. Well, to be fair, the secret of FIFA now is to just pass it around from the back, frustrate your opposition, and then just through balls. That's all you need on FIFA. Pass it around the back. They always come forward. They always play with a higher line, and then you just keep your striker forward through ball. You win. No matter how. Like I don't. So I'm going to admit this massive secret. I play professional difficulty, not world class. I know, not legendary. Professional. Sometimes semi-pro if I really wanna win.
I mean, I'm terrible, so
I mean, I'm not great. I used to get spanked by people when I used to play at uni. Like I lost a FIFA game so badly once. I lost 8-1 that we googled the rules of FIFA, and I had to create a Facebook page saying that I was shit at FIFA. So there is a Facebook group that is literally called Danny Harrington is shit at FIFA. Go join it, and it has I can't remember who I was playing as, but I know the opposition was Sheffield Wednesday, and I lost 8-1. Can't remember who I was playing. Don't care. Moved on with my life. But yeah, I played FIFA 20, and it's the first FIFA game I got in a long time because I stopped playing FIFA because I preferred the older FIFA games. And I felt it was really arcadey, and the referees are always terrible. Like they'll give a
they're
penalty to the
FIFA
opposition.
standard referees, so
I mean, they'll give a penalty to the
I
opposition,
don't
and
know
then
what you can expect.
for the same challenge in my penalty area, when they foul me, it's like no, play on, and I'm literally screaming at it, saying that's a freaking penalty. What are you doing, ref? So, I'm always having that
Yeah.
kind of shouting, and I'm just like the FIFA game just feels so scripted. It feels so scripted. Like I used to play Football Manager 2012. I want to say 2012. It might have been 2009. And there always used to be this thing that whenever you went up 1-0 up on the Arsenal have just scored.
Oh, brilliant.
Nketiah.
Is it Nketiah?
Nketiah. Yeah, Nketiah with the goal. He's the one celebrating. I'm just trying to...
Fantastic.
5 minutes before the end of the game.
So I'm a minute in. I think my Sky goes like a minute and a half behind. So you're going to
Yeah. Oh, he
tell me
might
he's
have been
been ruled
offside
out.
there. Is he offside? Yeah. The linesman going to put his flag up? Hang on.
Uh,
I think he's offside. I think he's offside there.
Yeah.
because he's ahead of the defensive line, so he's definitely offside. But apparently that's counting. That is counting.
What? What? They've done the VAR check already?
I don't think they've done a VAR check. I think they've just counted it. Unless they're arguing that the. Oh no!
Surely
No!
not.
They are doing a VAR check. I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, that's not going to count.
Sky Sports have. Well, they're in the centre circle.
Yeah,
Oh,
but they just do that whilst they're waiting.
David Luiz is coming off
Yeah,
the
that's not going to count.
bench. That can't count. He's offside.
Yeah.
Oh no, they've kicked
Bit
off. No,
stupid
it's counting. It counts. It counts. They've kicked off. They've kicked off.
Amazing.
It counts. It's 2-1. 2-1 to Arsenal from an offside goal. Totally offside goal. But hey, it works for Arsenal.
Maybe we'll see from a different angle and it'll be on.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, it works for Arsenal. They're 2-1 up. Right at the end of the game, 4 minutes to go on that one. It's Arsenal 2, West Ham United 1. Yeah, I saw.
So
I thought that was totally.
I've done a little bit more snooping, Dan. I've done a little bit more snooping here. So, because we had, well, we're little peek behind the curtain. We were having a little bit of a debate on Facebook Messenger the other night about what was better, FIFA or PES. Now, and I said then, well, let's just look at the sales. So this is FIFA 19 sales, and I won't go by console. I'll just give you the total, right? So FIFA 19 total sales 12.22 million.
Yeah.
PES 19 0.55 million. Now FIFA, so the last time, no, FIFA outsells PES every single year by a long way. But the closest they've been,
yeah, go on.
09, it was 8.67 million FIFA, 6.87 million PES. And then since then, PES has declined, like it's dropped every single year.
That's so weird.
And FIFA has. FIFA skyrocketed, but then gets better, but last year didn't sell as much.
Yeah, because they started putting stupid game modes in, like the story mode, which I've always liked it when you've played other games and you've got a story mode. But the problem with a story mode is that it's not your character. So you want to create your own player. That's why like the player career mode is so good, because you're creating your own player and creating your own story. But when it's like a scripted story, you can't even, with their story mode, you couldn't even pick the way the player looked. Really, it had a set design that you had to. I can't remember the name of the player. All I remember is there was some twat that you came along that ended up playing for Liverpool when you played for Manchester United. And now they've replaced it with Volta Football, which is kind of their own new version of FIFA Street, except it, once again, set designs on characters. Story mode is set. You can't kind of deviate from it, although there are kind of different arenas you can go to play. But if you play the story mode, then that's kind of set in stone. But obviously you can play online, but it's kind of the continuation of FIFA Street within FIFA, but you can play like 3-a-side, 5-a-side, 7-a-side. But I don't care about those game modes. I only want manager mode and player career mode, and that's it. That's all I want from it. I don't care about the online FIFA points. I don't care about the... You know what really bugs me? When you go on the home screen and it says, oh, Swindon Town are playing this team next week. Why don't you play that match right now and see if your team are good enough to win? I'm like, I couldn't give a crap, mate. I don't care that this Saturday Swindon are playing Accrington.
Are you telling me you've never watched your side play, they've lost, and you're so like annoyed about it that you've not gone, put that game on, even if you put it on it made it less difficult, so you can absolutely smash them just to feel a little bit better.
I can honestly say I've never done it because I just play the career modes. And normally I have a one
people who've done that.
I can imagine, but I have one golden rule whenever it's whether it's FIFA, whether it's Football Manager, you never manage your hometown club or the club you support, because it'll only end in tears. So, but obviously we're talking about PES
So
and FIFA. But I just
yeah,
here's a good question. What was your FIFA first football game? Was it FIFA or was it what was your first football game that you owned?
FIFA, FIFA
FIFA. Which
97.
I had that on PC. Windows
Yes,
98.
FIFA 97 on the PC, where you kick off, you take 5 steps into the opposition's half and shoot and lob the keeper every time,
Exactly. Oh, you
and it
know
had the
what?
indoor mode as well.
Yeah, FIFA 97 and 98 had indoor football. 97 I remember weirdly because they had a video package where the guys sat in like an EA Sports shirt playing on his gamepad, and then suddenly the TV blows up and his shirt's ripped and he's got the ball in his hand like that. And I've no idea why I remember that, but that's all I remember from that game is that little video playing where the TV blows up in his face and he's suddenly got a football in his hand, and I have no idea why. I think they were talking about graphics or something, but that's all I remember. I think FIFA 98 was the first one I connected with a FIFA game because it had Blur Song 2 as its intro.
Yeah,
It was Road to World Cup 98. It had loads of national teams
yeah,
on it. And why I love FIFA 98, and I bought a PlayStation Classic last year, and it doesn't come with any of the FIFA games. You have to mod it and put them on yourself. But I put FIFA 98 on there. And the reason, if you've seen the show and you've seen why the heck is he wearing an 1860 Munich shirt, FIFA 98 is the reason I support 1860 Munich. First team, if you go to Germany, the first team that picks up is 1860. Maybe I
yeah.
thought they were buying as a kid, but I always played as 1860, and I've loved 1860 Munich ever since. I'm a big 1860 Munich fan. I wish they were on TV, but they had a Munich derby on the third division, but it was Bayern's second team and the newly promoted Turkish club from Munich. But yeah, I haven't loved FIFA since maybe FIFA 2005, FIFA Football 2005, the last one where they were. Oh, sorry, the second last one when they were at Highbury.
Yeah.
I just loved that game. It was so good because I think that was the first one I bought. I think 2004 was the first time they had the Football League on, but 2005 was the first time I bought FIFA, and I could play as Swindon Town, I could play as Darlington, Chester, and all the crappy lower league teams. I remember managing third division Wigan Athletic and getting them into the Premier League. Before Wigan had got into the Premier League, I played as Wigan Athletic on FIFA 2005 and got them into the Premier League. Don't worry, it was on easy mode. I'm really crap at FIFA, but I love FIFA, but I think the arcadiness of it has kind of rubbed me off it's just annoyed me, frustrated me. So I'm going to get PES. I'm going to try it, and it's weird because FIFA 21 is going to cost people 50 quid, whereas PES have already said they're not going to develop a new game for 21 because the new consoles are coming out, so they're focusing on that. So what they've done is they've offered a season update for £20. And even if you don't own PES 2020, you can get PES 21 for $23.99 as a disc. But it is no different from the previous game. It has maybe subtle differences. Whereas FIFA 21, you're paying full price for a brand new game. And I think if you're looking at it from an economic point of view, I feel like Robert Pest in here, you're going to get PES because it's cheaper. But I don't know. As we've both said on our online chat, Football Manager is the best football game.
It is the best. My first, well, it was Champ was the first one I got into.
Oh, Championship Manager,
before the split, and that was Champ 98. That was brilliant. I loved that, and it was one of those things. It was bought for me by my sister's partner at the time because they lived with us. But then he played it constantly until they moved out, and then he had to leave it behind and was kind of gutted because he had to go and buy it himself, and he already had some buy it again himself, and he already had some Man United saves. But Yeah, I was obsessed with that. Me and my friends would play because a couple of my other friends had it, and I remember my mate had it was his birthday, and he had a sleepover, and we all kind of stayed and like we did right. We're staying up for 24 hours, and we were playing
Football Manager
champ
Marathon.
all the
Yeah.
way through, and it was brilliant. And obviously, yeah, stuck with that for a few years, and then obviously had some. I think was it Champ 5. I think was like
The last one, because I think
the
Football
last. I
Manager
think it
came
was
in at
blue. I think
2006.
it was blue, and I remember playing that a lot in what was that sort of 2005? Yeah, it was around 2005. Playing a lot of that then. Was Man City and Everton a lot actually around
Yeah,
that
when they were
point.
mid-table. Yeah.
Um, always always whenever I get a new version, the first game I play I'll always do a save with Arsenal first, and then I'll go off and do other teams. But generally at that it will generally be like West Ham, um, Everton, or well Man City before they got all the money.
Oh right.
Um, but
What?
yeah, and then when it moved and it was Champion Football Manager, I went down the Football Manager route
Yeah.
and got it every year. I remember when when Christmas, my wife got it for me for as a present. I was like, brilliant. Put it in the laptop. Realised that the laptop couldn't cope with it. So on Boxing Day, went and bought a new laptop. Um,
I love that. I love that.
abs-
That's excellent. What would you
Absolutely love it.
say
But then,
out of interest? By the way, Arsenal 2, West Ham 1. We're wrapping up in
yeah,
5 minutes. What would you say is the greatest achievement you ever had on Football Manager? What did you? Now, I'm not saying you wore like a suit and sat down at a computer like people. By the way, did you ever see the T-shirt that Football Manager did, where it was literally a suit that had FM on it, and you could literally sit down, wear this
no, I
T-shirt, and
didn't.
pretend you're in a suit? But anyway, what was your greatest achievement on Football
So
Manager?
I would say so. I was never. So I'm never. I don't play games long enough. I probably do maybe like 2 3 seasons max, and then I just start another one again because the thing I like the most is transfers and the wheeling and dealing and stuff. Um, so I'm not one of those like I've taken Altrincham to the Champions League final. I'm not. That's not me.
Yeah.
But one of my favourite things was I had Football Manager on my iPad. We were in Turkey, and it was a day. It was one day when we got there, it was raining, and we'd been down swimming and stuff, and we were sat up in like the big sort of lobby area. And it was a Sunday. Football was on, so I managed to position myself right in line so I could see I could see the TV. Football's on. I've got a game of Football Manager going, and I've got all inclusive. The wait is just bringing me over rum and cokes, and I'm there for about 5 hours. Watched a couple of games, slowly getting drunk, playing Football Manager. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But I tell
Fantastic.
you, since obviously having a kid and that, like I stopped playing it as much. But what I have started playing over the last, I think it's well probably been about a year. There's two different versions, but I got rid of the team one. It's an app. It's Score Hero.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Have you ever
You can play
heard
as
of
a
that?
player, and then you can play as a team. Yeah, I know the one where you
Yeah,
just control the player and you just flick your finger to get the ball
yeah.
into the
You
into
go
the
through the
goal.
career and all that. I just play that all the time whilst I'm watching TV.
That really
That's
annoyed me, that game. I kept like I've had multiple installs of that game, and I just get to a certain level where it's like, no, you've used your three chances, and I'm like, give me a replay. You've got to wait 24 hours uninstalled. And then I
yeah.
just go back to Football Manager. I am unfortunately one of those people that has played it and dedicated long enough time to get Salisbury City back when they were still Salisbury City and not Salisbury FC from the Conference South into the Championship. Boom! Won
Wow.
the World Cup and the European Cup, European Nations Championship with Norway. Why I managed Norway? I have no idea, but I've just won it with Norway. I've won the World Cup with Norway. This is just a roll call of
Such a
my
Roy Hodgson thing to do.
won two Champions Leagues with Celtic. Currently on my FM 2020, I've won the last four Champions League titles with 1860 Munich, which goes against my rule of never manage the clubs you support. But I got them out of the third division, and weirdly though, because it is quite an unrealistic game. Bayern Munich in the season I've just had missed out on the relegation playoff by 1 point. So
Wow.
my 1860 Munich team are like the best team in Germany, and for some reason Bayern are just absolute shite. But I
Did you
love
buy all
foot.
their players?
No, I didn't. I always do it properly on Football Manager. I always look at young players, bring in really good scouts that have good judge of potential and ability. Um, Always listen to them. Always buy players when they're young and cheap, and then sell them on for big money. So I always sell what if I buy. So I think my best player that I signed for 1860 Munich. I have started to buy players now because when I joined the club, they were in the third division and were nearly out of business. And now they're one of the richest teams in Europe because we sold players that we signed for 11 grand and we ended up selling players for like 20 million. Um,
Mm.
my best player at the moment is a Brazilian called Justinho. Well, he has a really long name, like Justinho de Santos, la 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 la. But I just call him Justinho. And we probably signed him for 250,000. And now like no club will buy him because his wage demands are insane. But it says he's worth like 93 million. But I'm trying to get rid of him now. I'm trying to get rid of him. So Real Madrid, buy him for like 50 million. I'll give you a cut price deal. He's on £200,000 a week. I want to get rid of him because I've got other players going, I want a new contract, boss. I want a new contract, please. So yeah, I've currently got to deal with that. But I love Football Manager. I've played it since 2009. You know who it was? My brother-in-law, Pete, got me into Football Manager. And he showed me a
Yeah.
formation of, I think, on 2009 of how to play, and I've never changed that formation. I've used that formation forever, and I know exactly how I want my players to play. I know exactly what players I need to bring in to make it successful. I even gave a lecture to somebody on the formation I use and where the different players should be and what they should be doing when they're on the ball, when you're attacking, and what they should be doing when they're defending. I am an adamant fan of Football Manager to a degree that is incredibly unhealthy. Incredibly unhealthy. And has convinced myself that I would be an excellent actual manager. Whereas if I was actually given a proper football job, I would be fired within 48 hours after a press conference in which I would describe my players as absolutely fucking useless and a bunch of lazy C words. Anyway.
I think you should. I think you should definitely go and invest in. I think it's Ian McIntosh's book, Football Manager Ruined My Life.
Yeah. I've seen it. I have wanted to get it, and I love those
It's
stories
a
of
good book.
those people that have gone on to like manage like clubs in Azerbaijan or Kazakhstan or something because they did well on
Yeah.
Football Manager, and it's never a good league.